Hey guys, it's Carl Brown from GuitarLessons365.com. Got a great one from Guns N' Roses today. We're learning how to do My Michelle off of Appetite for Destruction. And some of my favorite Guns N' Roses riffs in this one. Some really cool stuff. So hope you guys will stick with me the whole way. Before I get into it, please subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and ring the notification bell, of course, so you know when I release a new video, so you can like and comment and help me out here on the YouTube algorithm stuff. And if you really enjoy what I do here on YouTube or anywhere on the internet, the best way to support what I do, for those that ask, is to join my Guitar Academy. You'll see a link to it in the description below. That link will give you a free 7-day trial to the Academy as well. My Academy contains all of my guitar courses, covering everything from complete beginner courses to more advanced courses on technique, improvisation, ear training, theory, guitar tone, you name it, and you get personalized support from me. So please go over there and check it out. All right, let's jump into the song. I am tuned down a half step here as per protocol for Guns N' Roses. So we are E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat, B flat, E flat. All right, so good to go. So we're going to start here with this intro where we have some fills going on top of a couple of guitar layers going on here. So I'm going to try to show you, for a lot of this song, there is actually more than 2 guitar parts going on at once. We're going to try to simplify it, kind of get closer to what they're doing live, so you can kind of make sense of it. So let's start here first with this clean section that I played at the beginning, which is played by Slash. All right, so what's going on there? So we're playing here the 4th fret on the A, then bar across the 2nd fret across the D, G, and B. So it's just like that. So we're just picking across the 4 middle strings. So we pick from the A across to the D, G, B, back down to the A, and then go right back up, but just to the D. So all right, now for the next chord, it gets a little tricky. First, we move the chord, the note from on the A string down to the 3rd frets, and then you continue playing 2 on the D, 2 on the G, but then you're going to come off the strings and hit the open B string. So you want to hear. So it's hard to get that. So when you see Slash play it live, he'll do this. When he gets here, kind of picks up off the chord, so he doesn't mute out the. Now, there's an easier way to play this. It's not the way Slash does it. There's an easier way to finger it. Let's say that. Same notes. I'll cover that in a second. But first, we're going to get to this way. So play the way Slash does. So we have that 3 on the A, 2 on the D, 2 on the G, open B string. So just picking across those strings. So just those 4 strings. And then we do the same picking pattern, except now it's going to be the 2nd fret on the A, 4 on the D, 2nd on the G. So you're doing that with a little bar. And then once again here, you want the open B. So he lifts off like that. So now if you can do it like that and really arc your finger there, you can get away with it. Which is probably what he's doing on the recording. But when you see him play it live, that's kind of an intricate thing to get perfect. So you see him his hands kind of jump around a little bit. And then the end of it is just based off of an F sharp minor chord. So full bar here at the 2nd fret. And you're gonna have the 4th fret on the A, 4th fret on the D. And this picking just goes along the bottom 4 strings. So we're gonna pick the E, A, D, G, then back down to the E, and then back up to the A. And then just repeat that one more time. So twice for that. So now, what's an easier way to play in this that allows you to get that B string without worrying about it muting it out? So we can start the same way here. But I think a good way to play this, if you don't want to risk muting out that B string, is now just take your ring finger there, move it back to the 3rd fret, then play the 2nd fret on the D with your index and the 2nd fret on the G with your middle finger. That makes it easy to keep that B string open. And then you can do the next chord by just playing the 2nd fret on the A string with your index, pinky on the D string there, that 4th fret on the D, and still holding that same 2nd fret on the G with your middle finger. And then, once again, that makes it easy to keep the B string open. And then from there, we'll already have a note from the F sharp minor chord down. So it's just, I think it's a little bit easier. But like I said, it's not how Slash does it, so he does it the first way we covered it. All right, now what's going on over that? So we have some stuff like this on top of it. All right, so what I did there is kind of combined the two little guitar layers that are added there, because this actually continues going the whole time. So it comes in a second time through this plays first by itself, and then we have this comes in over it the second time through. And that continues even while this goes. I just went to it because it's kind of a cooler part. So anyway, so what's going on here? We have the 9th fret on the G and 9th on the high E. And then the 8th on both of those. Just chromatically move down. And then move that down, both of them down a fret again. So 7 on the G, 7 on the high E. So. And then 5 on the high E, 6 on the G. Hold that, and now repeat that. And then kind of play it the second time, and when you get to that 5, 6, you just gotta kind of hold that and just kind of put little rhythm on it there. I'm hybrid picking this. I'm playing the bottom string with my pick and the top one with my middle finger. And then here, you can continue doing that or go to this. Which is playing 2, hammer 4 on the G, bend up a whole step, then pick it and release the bend just a half step. So now it's, and then pick it again, release it all the way down, pull off the 2, and then end it with that bend at the 5th fret on the B. That just, well, I was holding that F sharp minor chord Slash with. All right, and now we get to what's really kind of the main riff of the song. There's a couple of parts going there, just what Slash is doing here. Some definite guitar harmony layers on top of it too, which instead of trying to play them exactly like the recording, I'm going to play them like Slash does it when he does it live. So he does a slight approximation of it, but it sounds cool, and it makes this part doable with 2 guitars. Because a lot of those harmony parts are just, or they're all overdubbed. And, you know, you can't really, unless you have like 5 guitar players, you're not really going to do it. All right, so I'll show you what Slash does when he first comes in with the main riff. It sounds like this. All right, so one of my favorite Guns N' Roses riffs. All right, so we basically had this. So now we have Izzy playing different. Kind of just really doing the chord. So you got Slash kind of playing a riff with it. So we have this. We have 4th fret on the A with some vibrato. And then you're gonna pick that 4th fret again a couple times. Then down to the 3rd fret on the A. So it's got some palm muting on that, but it matches kind of what's going on the guitar, Izzy's part. And then we have this. So that's going to be 2, hammer on 3, pull off to 2, pull off to the open A. So we have this. And then we're going to come down here to kind of the 2nd fret on the low E string. So 2, 2, 2, 0, 2. You can play those as chords. Then to the A power chord here on the A power chord. So this. And then we have this. This is very quick on the recording and palm muted. So open, low E, 1, 2. So far we have this. All right, now before he starts the riff over, he has a quick little 0, 2, heavily palm muted on the low E. And that leads us in to start the riff over. Now, the 3rd time through, I didn't realize there was some delay on here. Let me turn that off. So we have this. So from here, we're going to go to the harmonized version of it. So this is not exactly like it's played on the original recording. This is closer to what Slash does live. When I watch some live videos, and you kind of gonna have to. Sounds pretty close though, so you definitely can get away with it. But there's just a couple of the last little notes that are pulled off on each harmony part. It's not really possible to do down here, so you know it's not the way it was recorded. So we have this. So it's just the 4th fret on the A, 3rd on the D. Hit it a few times, then take it down a fret. And then take it down 1 more fret to the 2nd fret on the A, 1st fret on the D. And you're gonna pick that, slide up a fret, come back down. So this. And just kind of pull off. And then it's kind of the same ending. So then you do the 4th time through the riff, so the 2nd time through the harmony part. He comes down and he grabs the ends of the riff with a bend at the 2nd fret on the low E string. So that's all the way up to that A. So I know it's an A flat here in this tuning, but we have a step and a half, and then back down. So all together for Slash's intro, the main riff. All right, so Izzy will be doing kind of a chord approximation of that. So it's just kind of and now they usually have a way of dividing up their parts. You'll see this a lot in the verse, where if they have like a fast moving power chords, like what they'll have is like Izzy will play the top like that. And Slash will do kind of the single notes or vice versa. the single notes of it underneath it. So it comes together making a big power chord, but they're both kind of adding their own thing to it. So it makes it sound huge. So you'll see that used a lot in like Paradise City and all that stuff, where they're kind of breaking up the chord and each playing a part of it. So I believe that's kind of what they're doing here too. So we had this. So that's kind of. So that's like the 4 on the A and the D, a few tones, then 2, then back to the 4s. Over to the A, you just play the 2 on the D and the G together, and then you just come back to the E, F sharp power chord, or this. Because slash is taking care of this. You might want to go Izzy's part, just end it with the E to F sharp, since slash is doing that riff there. So Izzy's part would be like this. So right there, Izzy is just kind of bending up. Well, there's other ones in there being bent too, but a good thing to do is, it's the loudest one in the mix is the lowest one, and then the highest one, an octave higher. So it's just bending at the 4th fret on the D. All right, so that takes care of that main riff there and both parts. And then we have the verse. So a little bit more simple. So just that power chord at the 4th fret of the A. Go ahead and hit a couple more times. Then down to 3. So chromatic thing. Then down to 2nd fret. And then like we talked about before. Just kind of like that. And slash can be like that. I can do it underneath it. So it does, and this part of the riff, you don't hear that little thing. It's just like that. So that's how you play it. It's just, they're both playing pretty similar parts. So you can do slash, just doing the chorus. Like that, and then Izzy doing. Kind of like that. All right, so, and then we are back to these chords. Down to 2 again. 4, 4, 4, 3, 2, and then come up here. 4, 4, 4, 5, 4. And there's like kind of slide down the strings, and then kind of repeat what we did before. So then, so that different ending at the very end there, where we're. Then we had this A, F sharp, a couple times, E power chord, then back to the F sharp. All right, so they're both doing pretty similar parts there in the verse. And then we have the chorus riff right here. The first chorus is a little bit shorter. Looks like this. Back to that main riff. So this is just some power chords here. We're going to be out the power chord off the 5th fret of the A string, then the 7, then all the way down to this D power chord at the 2nd fret. So this. And then we go 4th fret power chord, back to the 7, then the open A power chord. So we have this all together. just like that. Kind of follows the vocal line. And then we have this. So that's just that power chord off the 5th fret there. The A, 4, through 2, A power chord. And then the 4th fret there on the low E, and back to the A. All right, and then we're back to the same main riff that we covered before. Sorry, just a little at the end. Basically it's a shorter version of that main riff that we play in the intro. So we had to. So we basically slash the second time through, starts doing this harmony. And at the end, we go up here. And you know, Izzy just holds that F sharp power chord under it. So it's like that, but Slash will be doing this over that F sharp power chord, which is just the 4th fret on the G and the B together. Kind of bent up. Just like that. He might be doing that like that. But anyway, so that's really all there is different there for that main riff. Then we go back into the same verse again. So nothing changes for the verse. And then we get to the chorus again. So this chorus, so the second chorus of the song is twice as long. So I'm going to cover more of what's going on in just the chords first. Slash does have a fill over this, coming in about the middle of this chorus. I'll cover that fill in a second. But the chorus chords, a little bit extended here. It looks like this. All right, so we basically have this, the same chords before. And then that Slash's fill comes in, which I'll show in a second. And then we go back into the same chords almost. That's the same. And then here, instead of going the C sharp to the E to the A power chord, it goes to the F sharp. So it goes 4, 7, and then the 2nd fret power chord off the low E string. So I just replace that open A power chord with the F sharp. And then the rest of the riff is the same. And this this second chorus here, you hear this little thing that ends it there, and that's probably played by Slash too, what kind of is he just holds the chord. And this is just 1st fret on the G, and then go 4, 2, 0 on the D, and then 4, 2, 0 on the A. That leads to the bridge. But now, halfway through that chorus, there's a fill by Slash, looks like this. So that's going to be a bend at the 7th fret on the G, and then we have 5 on the B, 5 on the high E, back to 5 on the B. Then you're going to bend the 8th fret on the B over to 5 on the high E string, and then play 8, 5 on the B again. So we have this. And then we're going to end it with a bend and release at the 7th fret on the G, pull off to 5, and then play 7, 5 again, and resolve it there to the 7 on the D. So that's that whole first fill. And then back to the chorus. All right, and now we get to the bridge section, which moves around pretty quick. Looks like this. All right, so that was kind of starting as an E power chord, big E power chord. You can have one guy. You can do it like that as well, but when I see Slash play it live, he's doing it down here as an E, open E power chord. So it's kind of, when you do this, you have the open E string, second fret on the A, second fret on the D, but you're muting the G string with like really the bottom of the middle finger. That's not the middle finger, the ring finger. And then the open B, open high E. So it makes it just like a B, a big open power chord. And then the D power chord, so the open D, second on the G, third on the B, and the A power chord we did earlier. And then we get to some kind of, again, I hammer 2 to 4. You can actually pick it actually. 3 to 4 on the A. And then 2 to 4 on the D. So the rhythm is kind of Now, when you get to the notes on the D string, you can have the open A string. So you can start here, and then you have the open A string in there. It's a standard kind of blues thing you've probably played before. So we have Then we play this B power chord, the second fret of the A, and then the third fret here on the low E string, some vibrato, and then we take the same thing we did here on this A, but we do it string lower in pitch. So open E string, second fret on the A, you do the same thing there. So I have this all together. Now kind of start that over again. Now here, the second time through, instead of after you do this A, instead of going like that, we do this. So that's playing the second fret on the A, fourth on the D. And then you're going to reach up and play the sixth fret on the D while still holding that 2. So it's a big stretch. So you're just kind of doing that rhythm between the two, trading the notes on the D string. So all together we have this. And then just repeat from there. And the second time through, instead of doing that at the end of the riff again, you just hold that beat, power chord, kind of some, you know, punk rocket. And that leads us into the solo. So the solo rhythm, though, does this. Back to the verse there. All right, so kind of going into the solo, we have this. So it's kind of just hit that C sharp power chord real quick, kind of go off of it, and then we do the C, B, and then the same riff we did before. And then, so it's kind of the main riff. Izzy's part of the main riff there, except that first one. And then it's just normal. And then just hit that F sharp power chord, let it ring. And then we get into like the proper part of this guitar solo here. There was some stuff going on before that, but now we get to this. So that's just a B power chord here off the second fret of the A string. Hit it a few times. Quickly hit the open A power chord and then go to the D power chord. See what it is. And then the open A power chord again, and then back to the B. So we have this. And then come over here to the G power chord. It's off the third fret of the low E string, and kind of chug on that a little bit. And then you hit that open A power chord real quick on the upbeat, and then you start the riff over. So it's just repeating it. Last time, then it goes out of the solo, back into that first chord that goes into the verse. That comes out of the solo. All right, so what's actually going on in Slash's part there? So let me play through it for you real quick, and then I'll show you how to play it note for note. So here we go. And then we're back to the verse. So it kind of starts with a hit here at the 6th fret on the D and the G. Just the top half of that power chord. Then it's got a little different timing there. They go into it. So it's just, it sounds like Slash is up here just hitting the 6th fret of the D and the G together. And then he goes back into those bends we did earlier. Just putting the 4th fret on the D and the G, I'm sorry, the B and the G together. Then he's going to move this up here, and up here it's easier to play like this as he does it, which is just his third finger, his ring finger here across the 16th fret of the G and the B. Kind of grab the straight string, start kind of pull them down to the floor. And then, so it's kind of pulling all to 14. So over to 16 on the D, and then back to the 14 a couple times on the G. And then back to that 16 on the G we have. And then here we get to where I think it's like kind of where the real solo starts. And we have this root. All right, so it's kind of awkward what's going on there. So we basically have sliding into the 11th fret on the G, and then play 12 on the B. So then play 11 on the G again, and 12 on the B again. And then going to bend up from the 10th fret on the B. Now here, we have a 7th fret on the high E, pull off 10 to 7 on the B, and then grab the 9th fret on both the G and the B together and just bend them up. So, and from here, it's a bit odd sounding. It sounds like he's just, you're really hearing the note on the G string there, that 9th fret bent up and release. And then he'll play these notes on the 7th fret across the B and the high E. And so then he picks that 9th fret by itself, and then over the 9th fret on the I'm sorry, the 10th fret on the A string. You know, it's like a really wide bend and release there. So we have this. All right, from there we have this. All right, so to start this part, we have like kind of this 5th fret on the low E, heavily palm muted. And then it starts at the 4th fret here on the A string. And he starts slowly bending that up. And then we have this. So that is going to be kind of palm muted, and we're going to have 5, 6, 7 on the A. And then 7 on the low E, back to that 5 on the A. And then we're going to go down chromatically from the 7th fret on the low E string. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. And then bend that up, and then bring it back down. So it is. All right, from there we have this. So we're going to bend up the 5th fret on the low E string, and then play open A string real quick, and start bending up that 4th fret on the A again. So then play 0, 2 on the A. Then jump up here to the 5th fret on the D string. It's a quick little bend and release. And then he hits a pinch harmonic on that. So he's not going anywhere here to get a higher note, which you'll see. It will do. It's actually just a pinch harmonic on that same note. So it is. We're back to the verse. So we have the same verse section that we did before, and then we get to the chorus. So these chorus chords are like the previous ones, so it's kind of extended where we go down to F sharp the second time through the chorus riff. And in the middle of it, there's another fill halfway through the chorus here. And that fill looks like this. So that's going to be the 8th fret there on the B. Kind of bent up, over to 5 on the high E string, then play 8, 5 on the B. Then you're going to go back to this 8, and you're going to do a quick little pull off 8, 7, 5 on the B. And then from there, we have this half step bend and release at the 7th fret on the B string. Pull off to 5, over to 7 on the G, then play 5 on the B, roll over to 5 on the G, and then bend up a whole step at the 8th fret on the B. So all right, so then we basically get to the ending section, which I'll put through for you real quick. It looks like this. All right, so that's, we're just going to be playing the 4th fret, like a kind of a slow bend here at the 4th fret on the low E string. Up, kind of slowly bend it up a half step. Then you hit the A power chord twice. So you basically repeat that for the riff. And then after you've done the 4th time through, instead of going to the A, it just jumps to this C power chord off the 3rd fret of the A string. So it's and repeat. So just like that, and then we have that really cool ending lick that Slash does. So a lot of pinch harmonic stuff going on. That was kind of cool. So, but the notes are gonna just pick 4 on the G, pull off the 2, pull off to the open G. And then the same thing on the D string. So this. So you're gonna repeat it exactly like that 3 times. Like I said, this first note is gonna be pinch harmonic. Now the 4th time through, we do this, which is just kind of pick that first note on the G string, go bend and release. Then just continue, release that bend, just continue to lick like normal. So it's just a little added bend on that first note. And then after you get through the lick, you just hit an A power chord. So all together we have this. All right, great song, a lot of fun to play, got some killer riffs, and as always, really cool stuff by Slash and Izzy. All right, hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you again soon for GuitarLessons365.com.